Greetings, my fellow hunters, and welcome to another review. Today, we're neither hunting virebloods nor beasts, but this time we'll be hunting monsters, or specifically monster girls. This is Monster Girl's Doctor, and so, as I always say, let the hunt begin. So, the story of Monster Girl Doctor, set in a fantasy world where long ago men and monsters used to wage battle against each other. The battle waged so long that both monster and men forgot why they were fighting. So after a long time, peace was declared. And 10 years after that, the city of Linwood was set up, a happy coalition between monsters and humans, a place where they can mutually live together in harmony. An interesting setup for a plot, but executed horribly, as there is very little to do about it. The conflict is brought up every now and again, but there's no conflict. You'd think of something like this, there'd be conflict, but no, there's nothing like that. It just follows the adventure of Dr. Glenn and his Lamia assistant Safine as they go around the countryside dealing with monster girl problems, such as curing them from diseases or something along those lines. So it's more about the doctor healing monsters than it is about the world. Well, there is world building, but it's not sort of small degree that I barely noticed it was there. Speaking of characters, for you see, they are all basically one-noted characters, so there's very, 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 very little interest in them. They don't have any overarching arcs. The main protagonist especially doesn't really have anything, and I really can shoot fire across most of them without much hitch, considering that, like I said, they're all one note. And here we have first Dr. Glenn, the main protagonist of our little show. And what to say about him? Dr. Glenn is a boring character. Nothing much to say, except that he's also got a smooshed face that looked like a rolling pin went over it a few times. And you'll see in a minute. I don't know. It's hard to talk about Dr. Glenn because he has nothing of interesting to note. He has no personal struggles. He has no overcoming obstacles. He's just the doctor that knows the answers to everything, and I feel like that makes it worse considering there's no challenge for him. He understands things, he gets the answers right, bing bada boom. It's boring as hell, and there's no adversity he has to overcome. Well, except one adversity, if I have to say this, that the girls have the hots for him, which I don't understand, and he's a bit of a dunce to add. Then again, you could expect that standard for shonen protagonists in harem series. He's dense and doesn't understand that the girls have the hots for him. Which makes it annoying to watch sometimes. 17 or Seventine, or however you pronounce the name, is the doctor's assistant. And frankly, she's just as bland as he is, as she is only one note. She is madly enough with the doctor because of past events and how she was a hostage for the doctor's family because of negotiations, because of the war, blah, 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 blah. When it ended, she had to go back, and then later on, she met the doctor again. I know I should have saved that for the story, but this is character right now. And frankly, the only note of the Lamia is that she is very attractive to the doctor, and to almost a psychotic degree, as quite a few times she almost killed him by crushing him with his tail. Oh, I really wish I could talk more about her, but that's all to note about her. She's just obsessed with the doctor. She's good with medicine, but that's not much of a character, it's more of a skill. The next character is Celia, the centaur. She is basically the honty-tonty one. That one that goes, ooh, yeah, that one. And she's also annoying because, frankly, she has such a noble procedure to things that it's almost an agonizing to watch. Oh, she loves Dr. Glenn, but she has to be noble about it, blah, 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 blah. She's boring again. Next up is Argania. She is what I would call the temptatious of the series ones because she's just teasing the main protagonist constantly. She always constantly teases her best friend Safine because she's just that sort of person. It's in her personality, but again, this is just another one-note character with no interesting procedures to them. Frankly, I can keep going on and on and on and on and on about the characters. I could talk about the tomboy harpy with phoenix blood, or I can talk about the little dragon lolly that has a crush on the doctor who has a problem in calling him Oni-chan. I don't know why. I could keep going on and on and on. But the problem is that the characters are a one-note sort of group. And I'm really getting annoyed that this is the thing in harems, that they cannot have interesting characters and they must be one note. Constantly. Oh, it's so annoying. I wonder if the music will be any better. Unfortunately, it doesn't, because everything in this show seems to be boring me to death. The music is unforgettable. The opening, I keep forgetting the opening after it finishes, so that's never a good sign, is it, when I keep forgetting what the opening is about? Oh, God. The music, all I can say in general is that the music is bland. And frankly, I feel like that's worse. Because if it was at least bad, I would have something to talk about. But because it's a bland little music, I can't say much. At this point, you're wondering, can the animation save this series? Does it have such good animation that they had to sacrifice the story and the characters to make the animation look as beautiful as possible? Short answer, no. Long answer, I really wish they could have something interesting to do, because at least I would have been able to talk about it, because like before, it's bland. There's no interesting color dynamics, it just works. And you could say that's a good thing, as if you don't notice it, it's doing its job, but at the same time, I really wish it could give me something more to talk about, because yes, well, there are a few great shots in the mountains with the snow, or in the Harpy village and how bright and colorful it is, but most of the time, it's just a bland little animation with very little eye candy, and you think that would be a bad thing, but it's just so bland that I can't even work up my anger towards it. So my final thoughts on this series. Should you watch it? No, don't. Save your time, save your energy, watch something else. Watch High School DxD. That actually is funny. This one isn't funny. I don't know. This is one of those rare anime that are so bland and so uninteresting that I can never point out where it goes wrong, because everything about it is just bad. The characters are uninteresting. This world is potential but is unexplored at all. The story, it's bland, it's forgettable. It's just a guy who's a human, who's a doctor, and an assistant that's a snake girl that goes around and helps other monster girls, and somehow they have the hots for him. I don't understand why they still produce these sorts of anime when they are not good. Before you all say I hate harems, I like harems. I feel like that's the series with the most potential, but it doesn't reach it. And when it does, it's only a one-off. High School DxD embraced its haremness. The main protagonist wanted a harem. The girls all had the hots of him because he was a powerful dragon. He inherited the power of a powerful dragon, and that's why they like him. This one? Dr. Glenn is as bland as they can get. Uninteresting, unboring. I just can't understand why people like this one, because on Crunchyroll, it has a 3.5. Bordering a 4, mind you. How? Nothing I say will change your minds. If you're going to watch it, you're going to watch it. But I'm just pointing this out. Please. There are other, better harem anime out there, so don't subject yourself to this. I beg of you. But as I always say, my hunters, thank you for watching. My link to my Twitter and Discord are down below. Like and subscribe, as it always helps. Leave a comment. And as I always say, my fellow hunters, may the good blood guide your way.